Okay, so again, this is a shell we played a while ago when Opal and Looting were unbanned and Tezzeret was printed. This shell was something I was really impressed by, but it felt like the problem was the stuff we were cheating into play, not the general shell. So the idea is that you are an Ugin's Labyrinth, Mox Opal, Faithless Looting deck that's trying to use Trash for Treasure and Daretti to reanimate big artifacts while using Monument to Endurance alongside Cookbook and Looting to bypass hate cards and to outgrind opponents who have interaction for your combo, as well as Urza Saga tokens. Daretti is like specifically interesting with Extinguisher Battleship, where this deals 4 damage to each creature. Daretti has 5 toughness, so it survives. Daretti also crews the battleship, so it's big and attacking really fast. Also, the Saga tokens crew, which I think is interesting. This card is also, in theory, good against every deck because it comes with a Stone Rain attached to it and is a big, gigantic creature sometimes. And your ability to like sacrifice the battleship to Daretti, return it with Daretti, lets you blow up all of your opponent's lands. So this card is in theory good against both linear decks and non-linear decks, blowing up their lands and blowing up their creatures. We also have 1 Portal to Phyrexia, 1 Sundering Titan, 1 Platinum Emperion, and 1 Endstone, also a new card. It says whenever you play a land or cast a spell, you draw a card. At the beginning of your end step, your starting life total becomes half your life total rounded up. You can tutor these with Goblin Engineer. As much as I hate on Goblin Engineer, I do think this is actually like the perfect shell for it. Where not only can this entomb for your Trash for Treasure, but it can set you up to get back Monument to Endurance by sacking a food token or a Mox Opal, so you have a mid-range value plan, and you can haste Goblin Engineer with Arena of Glory to be able to put Monument into Endurance immediately into play, and which can give you multiple copies, which can be pretty strong too. Yeah, no Asmo Oval Chase. I know it's weird to play 4 cookbooks, no Asmos, but I've actually been pretty happy with that game plan. It's like this deck just really wants to be doing the big stuff. It might be right to play. It might be right to play Asmos, but last time we played the deck, I remember feeling really good about no Asmos, so I'm kind of trusting past me on that one. Yeah, I do think this is by far and away the best Goblin Engineer deck we've ever had. And I know I trash talk it a lot, but I do remember last time thinking, okay, it is actually good in the shell, and the issue is the lack of good big artifacts. All right, this hand is good if we draw Goblin Engineer, any big thing, Mox Opal. Yeah, I think we just have too many good draws to mulligan this. I do like Crime Novelist. Okay, Rob could say Devourer deck. Are we going to be living in with Cosmic Wave Serum Powder? I just don't think that that's the best direction to go. I think Detective Phoenix is the better enabler. It's possible you could play. It's possible you could play Detective Phoenix in one of these shells, but it's certainly not what I'm like the most excited about. Shouldn't analyze the poem, replace a land, not a spell? Maybe. Something to think about. That could be the case. So they just drew this, I guess. Hopefully they don't play a card. Chalcedon 2, maybe? Okay, so that stops Goblin Engineer, which would be a good draw for me. Hopefully just draw a Battleship, and that'd be awesome. So we draw a Daretti. Six mana, so they're kicking a Myco Spawn. Come on. Big money. Big draw step. They only got 1 card in their hands. Have I thought about Cosmic Wave Ketchupus Relic? Yeah, of course. Mentioned in the YouTube video. I think I'm not like super excited about that shell, but you could play that one. Let's keep it going. I can't sit here and watch someone else resolve a cake event for X equals 6 today. All right, so I was about to add a bunch of Charmals to the sideboard, and then I'm thinking, let's see how the battleships handle them. I think that's still my attitude here. I'm going to cut the Platinum Emperion again. Maybe it could just be cut in general. I think I do want to bring in the Welding Jar. I want to probably cut the Shadowspear. I don't think Vexing Bauble is good against them. Or sorry, Magus is obviously Vexing Bauble. I don't think Magus is good against them. I could play an extra Lantern. I could play a Needle. I don't think they're that likely to be on Karn. Maybe the Shadowspear is okay. I don't. It's definitely not. Let's play Platinum Emperion, I think, instead. I don't think we've Endstoned yet. I think there was one turn where we had the option too slow hit this hand. All right, let's keep this. Another turn 1 imprint. Maybe another Chalice. The imprint to Sire. Yeah, I did a lot of Eldrazi Tron recently. A lot of lag that turn also. So I could try to haste the Goblin Engineer. I think it's going to be better for me to just get the Monument now. And then we're going to want to discard something end of turn so that we can trigger the Monument next turn. Because we're going to want to sack the food token to the Engineer, assuming that this lives. Maybe they just have a K command. They have a Thought-Knot Seer, so we'll just discard the Battleship. That's easy. Do we draw anything relevant? My opponent's got to stop on my upkeep here. Draw a Welding Jar. Could be a little worried about a Thought-Knot Seer, but let's go to draw a card. Rewarded. Anybody play this deck with that splashing the Mycospawns? How hard is it to cast Mycospawn? Because I feel like so often you have like 7 sources to cast it. It feels so low. Maybe it's just fine. We could draw. I guess we can't. We can't make a treasure for Daretti and cast it all in one go, huh? So we could haste this and put another Monument in play, but we don't have another discard outlet, so I think we'll make a Saga token instead. Also, kind of likely we get K commanded. Oh, they don't have anything. Nice. I like adding Chromatic Star. That's an interesting tack. It's pretty hard when it's good. It's really good. I mean, yeah, it's so in Mycospawn. I agree. When it's good, it's good. What if they have a Bajuka Bog here? They might get a Tron piece. If you get another Monument, next turn you get to draw 2, though. I mean, I still get to draw next turn if I get another Monument, though. Because I can haste the Engineer. But now we're definitely going to trash for treasure this Battleship into play. Kill their board, kill their Ugin's Labyrinth, draw a card off the Thought-Knot Seer. Maybe I should have discarded that to the cookbook. Actually, I think I just go for lethal. I just discard this, deal 10 this turn, and then I can crew the Battleship next turn. Probably should have kept the Engineer over the Arena. I've played a version of normal Tron, not Eldrazi, with similar mana base. Found it to be weirdly not an issue with Mycospawn, although it seems like it should be. Yeah, maybe what it is, it's like you just mulligan so aggressively to like powerful mana hands, and like Mycospawn just increases that range, you know? And so it's like in the non-Mycospawn hands, it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, you need 5 counters on the Battleship for Station. I was thinking it was better to do it last turn because it makes you try to draw a lot better. I mean, this construct does matter a lot, though. But yeah, maybe. Although, couldn't we still have Caster ready? Maybe not. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how it's only 5 for this one when... Like, I don't really... have they, like, put anything out on how they balance the station costs? Because it seems so random. Like, you would think that this one would be more kind of compared to the other stuff. I mean, it costs 8 mana, but I don't know. I'm just curious what their thought process on the balance is. So I guess I didn't realize that they were on the Tron build. I think I do probably want the Maguses against this version. And they're not playing the Emrakuls. High mana equals low cost. I guess so. I just was wondering if there was more to it. Okay, they're on a mold of 6. I'm on a mold of 6. I guess we'll keep in. They reveal a Devourer. They've had Ugin's Lab Devourer all 3 games. We'll see if they have it. Or sorry, the first 2 games. We'll see if they have it for the 3rd game. They exile a map, a seer, and a Myco spawn. They play a power plant. They play a map. Okay, pretty scary. Glad to be boarded into Magi, I guess. So I think drawing the Magus, I want to do this. This lets me cast the Magus if I draw an imprintable. And this lets me also set up for Magus plus like infinite constructs. So let's get the Battleship. I do need to draw a 0 mana artifact if I'm going to trash or treasure next turn. Or I guess just Mox Opal in this build. Since we didn't play the Saga turn 1. Alright, hopefully that's just Devourer of Destiny. They did mulligan. Chromus for the 34 months. Thank you, welcome back. K-Command? K-Command, exile the Battleship, make 5 spawns. Okay. Interesting. They have something else? They probably have a Talisman if they're thinking this long. So certainly just want to play the Magus here. New question, why Emperion, not Blightsteel? I'm assuming you mean Blightsteel, not Blacksteel. Blightsteel Colossus doesn't really do much. Platinum Emperion, like, it's a stabilizing card that they have to deal with if they're going to kill you, so it's like kind of a nice tool against aggro. There's no way 1 life is worth more than a spawn here. Oh, they just have another K-Command? But wouldn't they want to K-Command the Magus? Oh, they can K-Command the Magus. Sorry, I thought I miscounted. Yeah, but yeah, Blightsteel is just like it takes 2 turns to kill your opponent because they almost always jump at once. It's like, it's just so all in. You can't trash your treasure Blightsteel also. That's another thing. It shuffles. But even if you could, I don't know if you would play it. Do you think there's any chance they ban K-Command at some point? I mean, there's a chance. I think Modern would be a lot better if it was banned. I think the card is like incredibly poorly designed, incredibly too efficient, incredibly hard to play around. All right. So they put 1 on top, 2 on the bottom. Gonna need to get a little lucky to get out of this one. They hand us Devourer and 3 mystery cards. Best case scenario, they cast the Devourer. Okay. Best case scenario, good news. So if we could draw like a Battleship and get them off Tron, trash for treasure into play. We draw a Daretti, which we can't quite cast this turn off of a Mox Opal. I'm going to get a second cookbook to try to dig pretty fast. So let me discard the Daretti because it's too high on the curve here. Draw a card. Okay, so now we can Battleship next turn, and this may be too slow. This may be too slow. We'll see. Source receive about nicely. I mean, nicely maybe, but it's like I'm against power level errata if that's your suggestion. And 3rd K command. They just don't tap their Urza's Tower. It's weird. K command works as great interaction in various colors decks, but Eldrazi didn't need it that much for extra oomph like all the rest. Yeah, I guess I don't know what you're saying exactly, but This card is too efficiently costed. It does too much. it's you know, it is certainly great interaction for Eldrazi decks. They put 4 on the bottom here. As for watching these lines, no, my opponent would hold up K command. My opponent would hold up K command for the trash. Maybe they have 4th K command, but they're certainly not anything that they're doing does not seem ghost adjacent. Okay, so do I want to haste Daretti this turn? Probably do. So let's make a treasure token. You should play Keiko in this deck. Well, it's kind of tough because I think the arenas are really important with Engineer and Daretti. But you could possibly play K Command. That card is really freaking good. So one thing I could do here is, let's go sack the. No, I guess sacking the monument doesn't make any sense. So just blow up the tower, kill their spawn tokens, and then. Oh no, sorry. Dang, I thought this out. I meant to sack a real artifact so I could sack the battleship again. Sorry about that. Maybe it was better also to like turn this into a creature. I'm not sure. I think we're just ahead enough in the race though. Dang, I don't know. Yeah, but I think I wanted to sack like a cookbook there so I could sack the battleship and then flicker it again next turn with the Daretti to blow up another land. Crew the battle. I think it's better to attack for 8, but I'm not sure, right? Because then I can attack for 8 this turn and then 10 next turn instead of just 10 next turn. And then like if I attack for 10 next turn, I kill them with the cookbook monument, right? Oh no, I only need 1 trigger. Okay, so they have Tron online again. They only have 5 mana though. I think it's always correct to crew the battleship turn 1. Does your attitude change the fact that I have lethal with this line versus not lethal with your line? Okay, I can also I can cheat something else into play maybe. I think this is just too hard for them to deal with. It plays our removal better. I mean, what removal are we worried about? Devourer, I guess. I don't. Always correct is not a good attitude to have on any line, honestly. Dude, Battleship is looking good. Battleship is looking pretty good. So this hand is good if we draw Monument, Daretti, Trash for Treasure, Goblin Engineer. That's 16 good draws. I think that's too low for like optimistically 2 draw steps, right? This hand looks better. Hand looks better. If I go turn 1 Saga, if I draw 1 mana source, I can Daretti on turn 3. By legend ruling the Mox Opals. My opponent's taking a little bit of time to show up here. I haven't tried. I think I want to try Endstone in the shape of new shell before Battleship. Although Battleship is performing so well that I might change my attitude there. I can also just make a Saga token turn 2. Vishas with the 14 months. Hope you're doing well. How was Tez? Tez seemed fine. I want to try it in a Pinnacle Emissary shell next. I do want to play a little bit more Dice Factory too. I don't feel like we got a super big sample size. Okay, this is weird. I'm going to cast the Monument and wish I had a 7-card hand so I could trigger it this turn. So next turn I can Daretti. I float a mana, Mox Opal, I discard the card I draw, and then that's 5 mana to Daretti the Endstone back into play. Okay, my opponent has disconnected. Don't you also need an artifact for Opal? No, I have the cookbook. Aether Drift just dropped? Edge of Eternity is just dropped. Or you're talking about the Daretti in the hand, I see. So I might make a Saga token if my opponent just holds that mana, but they... Oh, dang it, they're exiling my Endstone. So they're Gorios? I guess we could get lucky and draw a big thing here. So I'm gonna grab this Soul Guide Lantern. If they're gonna main deck Emperor of Bones, let's be prepared, I guess. I think that's better than getting the second cookbook here. So they scour me. It's interesting. Okay, I thought for sure that was gonna be Thoughtseize because they thought so long about it. I mean, not super long. I think they might have some connectivity issues here. So they exile the Mox Opal, and then presumably they attack for 2. They play a Delta, and they pass. So I guess we're going to set up to cast Daretti next turn. If I make a treasure now, I'm 1 mana short. So would have been really nice. Tough. So they held this Thoughtseize, I think. I don't know. I don't know about this. I'm gonna put this up, I think. Maybe it was telegraphed. I think there's just been a couple weird things with their pace of play. So at the very least, we might get to increase it. Like they have like upkeep stop, draw step stop. They paused like a minute before we joined in. They didn't cast the Thoughtseize last turn, it seems, because they take so long on the push. Probably have a counterspell here, but we got to go for it. Quit the party 1 banner. Sorry, I'll go back to having no fun. I don't. I am gonna change it soon, but you don't get to dictate what happens on the stream. Love you, thank you. Oh, you want to show the hand? Well, I think my opponent's watching, so I'm not going to. You could watch someone else though if this bothers you that much. I'm glad that you're so engaged, though. So they graveyarded Archon of Cruelty, but I have the Soul Guide Lantern. So they're gonna persist, or Emperor of Bones, and I'm gonna Lantern. I assume that they're not gonna let me portal the Archon. Sure, it's cool. Thanks. It's fitting kind of good again. Now that I'm on this cut again. So I might like Daretti. I'm sacrificing so much damage. I might sack Portal to Daretti back Lantern. So I could maybe Daretti the Portal again. Let's see what we draw. We draw a copy of Trash for Treasure, so now I'll definitely go. Oh, sorry, I guess. I mean, they're tapped out. So they discard a Archon. I mean, I've got the Lantern up, though, so we don't need to be very worried about this. I'll put the hand back up for game 2. I'll just keep it for the rest of this one. All right, they're finally out of cards. They have to chump block the Daretti lest they die to my Monument trigger, but I think they'll probably just not realize that. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put another cookbook in play. As predicted. Alright, so they're Grixis Reanimator. So Lantern is much better than Cage, because Cage stops Persist. They're also playing Unearth, so they can also bring this in. It just doesn't stop Emperor, which can be kind of tough. Needle hitting Emperor or Frog, though, seems kind of good. Let's cut the Shadowspear. Let's cut the the Platinum Emperion. I don't want to keep Sundering Titan. Definitely want to keep the Portal. Portal might be our best target in this matchup because it steals their stuff. I think I'll trim a Looting. Cage is Nomba with Portal. I don't think it's that big a deal. You could also potentially sack your Cage. But yeah, I mean, maybe a bit of a Nomba. Did you want to fit Oval Chase Daredevils in here when building deck? Well, I would definitely play Asmo over Oval Chase Daredevil if I was going to play one or the other. I'm not even playing Asmo. Honestly, I feel pretty good about the deck's construction, at least the main deck, and like there just kind of isn't room where like Engineer is really mandatory, Monument's really mandatory, so you don't just die to counter spells, discard spells, graveyard hate. The Darettis and the Trashes are mandatory, the Cookbooks are mandatory, the Opals are mandatory. It's like everything is just so mandatory. I don't know how you could fit an Asmo in the deck or Daredevil. Like, you could maybe cut, like, the main deck Lantern for an Asmo, but having even just an artifact that cantrips is so good, and it makes... Sometimes you get it off Engineer, too. Yeah, Cage only subs creatures, but it does sub you from Portable to Phyrexia stealing their stuff. So Blightsteel Colossus cannot be Trash or Treasured because it shuffles. It would be worse than all the other options, even if you could, though, because it just is so... It just, like, gets blocked, and then you die on the backswing so often. Just does not stabilize. But it's not even an option, so I don't need to worry about it. Again, my opponent might not be ghosting, but they just, like, they took a minute to show up. They had an upkeep stop, a draw step stop. They waited to cast their Thoughtseize, it seems, until it was, like, good when it was going to be bad the prior turn. So I don't know, just a couple of small things that just want to protect the hand here for this match. All right, I'm keeping my 7 on the draw. My opponent's mulled the 6. Does Emperion negate Frog Draw? I think it does. I don't think that's necessarily a good reason to keep it in, but I do think it does. So main phase Looting. Discard 2 copies of Archon of Cruelty. So I'm actually going to go Lantern and exile the Looting. Since there's not really much reason to exile just one Archon. If they reanimate, I'm going to get both, so I might as well stop them from flashing back. We have a Frog, maybe. Maybe an Emperor. Looks like an Emperor, so we'll go and pop this. Do you think there could be a Nexus of Becoming version? Maybe. I mean, I like Nexus of Becoming. One thing that's really awkward is Nexus is 6. And you're an Ugin's Labyrinth deck, so you want your things to cost 7. That might not be the biggest deal ever, though, but it is definitely something I think about. Okay, so second Emperor. Get it for 2 down to 18. They've got 3 cards in their hand. Let's go ahead and play out a Monument out. Should have waited to pop till they're targeted. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like they've played their land for turn. There's no 0 mana way for them to. I guess they get to. I guess they get to target something at my yard this way. They get to exile the Lantern, but that also is. I guess it is relevant with the Goblin Engineer. Okay, a little bit relevant. Okay, they discard 2 persisted Looting here. Looks like we're going to take 4 down to 14. It's a pretty relevant draw for me. So could they have Consign up? If they had Consigned, would they counter this? I probably would. I think I'm going to Needle Emperor of Bones. Or I always like mix up the E where the E and the R is in Emperor. Alright, so we'll see if they counter this. Draw 2. Will there be Shape Anew? Yeah, I really want to Shape Anew into Endstone or Battleship this week. I've definitely liked Battleship a lot so far. On the to-do list. So they flash back the looting. So do I guess let's see, are they going to target the Archon with the Emperor of Bones? They are going to target. So this implies that they have an answer to the Needle. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and pop this. It's kind of like, you know, like they've discarded 2 persists and they have to get another Archon in the yard anyways. It seems like the right move at least. So I'm taking 4 this turn. I guess I just have lethal. Oh no, I don't quite have lethal. Yeah, I'm really close in a couple of ways. I do love a nice hasty Goblin Engineer. Do you think you'll try Owls with Window? Maybe. There's always, you know, a lot to get to. So my hand is double Daretti here. I guess I might as well draw 3 cards. Well, could do like 2 cards and a treasure to give myself access to a food token crack. And I could just discard the Daretti or a different card to deal them 9, untap, deal them 9. Not -6. Well, I have the cookbook up to still -9 them. I can't -12 them because I can only choose the same mode once a turn. So it's better to draw a card so I could just discard a different card to do the -9, right? Lose 3, lose 3, lose 3. You got a consign? They do have a consign. Cool. So I guess I didn't need to do lose 3, lose 3, lose 3, huh? That's okay. I can cookbook again on their turn. In fact, I guess what we do is we learn our lesson for the first time on this channel, and then I can tap 2 cook. Or sorry. Hold on. I can play another cookbook. I can discard the Daretti. I can go draw a card, lose 3, lose 3. Well, I guess they can still consign, can't they? And they stop me from being able to draw a card to activate another cookbook. Okay, this hand is good. If we draw any imprintable, it's okay if we draw cookbook. I think that's too narrow of a range, so let's mulligan. Alright, this hand is just good. I guess we put back the cookbook. That's like a little weird, right? But this is the only way for me to keep the monument, keep 3 lands, keep my discard enabler, and the trash or treasure. Although my opponent has gone Field of Ruin, Relic of Progenitus, which is good against this hand, good against this deck. That's why we got the monuments. I guess I'm gonna not oh, okay, I guess now I'm gonna play the Battleship probably. Or sorry, the monument. And yes, they get to field and they get to get rid of this, but I get the looting monument online next turn, which I think is probably worth. They exile the relic, that's a good for me. Is there coffers, maybe? All right, so now we get to draw a card. Cookbook's good. Let's start off with the looting. So we're going to make a treasure token and draw a card. I'm just going to discard the Sagas. Feels kind of like a baller move. Hopefully no card. Damn it. I mean, that's not great either, I guess, but can deal with that. This is kind of interesting against Shieldred, actually. I'm gonna flashback the looting and lose 4-8, go down to 10. Is that too much? I think it would be too much, but I can kind of Endstone back up, right? Ooh. Okay, that's really fun. That's a really fun draw. That is a really, really fun draw. We have a Necro, maybe? Yeah, this doesn't trigger the Monument. Okay, so we get to Endstone, which is fun. They suspend a Profane Tutor. They suspend another Profane Tutor. So let's go ahead and, I think, discard the Endstone so we can Daretti it back into play. Am I going to go for the life loss? Like, the treasures seem kind of good, too. I think let's go treasures this turn. Arena of Glory makes Daretti trigger stress. Yeah, we've got 4 arenas in the deck. I guess... Did I want to draw a card off the instant? I don't think I did. I think I want to do this. Sack a food. Maybe I'm sacking a treasure. So I could sack 2 foods potentially. Feels really close. Okay, so I'm going to go discard this. Make a treasure, draw a card, go down to 2. Hopefully I'm not missing something. Okay, and so if I cast the Mox Opal, I die to Shieldred unless I crack a food right now. But I think we'll just let the Endstone put me back to 10. And then we can block the Shieldred with Daretti, maybe. So these both tick down to 1. This has been a great game so far. I'm having a lot of fun. They're going to field my Urza Saga. I got plenty of basics in the deck. Makes it a little bit easier to sack a food, which lets me draw maybe an extra card next turn. Do I still have the portal to Phyrexia in the deck? I do. While they're trading. It's awesome for me. Oh, this is so good for me. Thank you for turning my Mox Opal into 2 more cards. Maybe I should be dealing them 6, but let me live my life, I guess. Okay, so let's gain 3 life. We draw a trash for treasure. It's a nice start, I guess. So we'll go discard this, draw 2. Then we go trash for treasure, the battleship back into play, sacking a food token, and we get to draw a card off the Endstone. We go ahead and kill the battleship. Then we play a cookbook and we draw a card. Nice. Play a cookbook, draw a card. Discard arena. You each lose 3. Yeah, I think. Well, I guess I should have played the arena first to draw a card. Okay, Mox Opal, draw a card. So our first time playing Endstone, it's looking pretty dang good. Okay, so now we could get Portal to Phyrexia in play if we wanted. I think I want to do that. 2 more treasure tokens. And then we can get the shielded next turn, maybe. So I go back down to 10. And then they do get 2 profane tutors, so we'll see what they can do with that. My engineer and my shielder together can enable the battle star to attack. Gain 3 life. I can gain 3 life. I don't think I need to do a dang thing this second though, right? You're not tapping that. Why are we doing tapping Relic of Frigidus here? At the very least, they should tap it targeting themselves, right? Tap Relic of Frigidus. Alright, you lose 3, you lose 3. One day Spike will read Endstone. I know what Endstone does. What's been the problem with Endstone? I know it puts you to 10 at the end of your turn. That's why I didn't want to gain 3. What do you think Endstone does? Okay, draw a card. It's a Daretti, so that just crews the ship. Arena, draw a card. You sure? I don't know. I guess you know, if you're saying I'm missing something, let me know what I'm missing. I'm happy to be wrong. So put another battleship in the yard, then haste this Daretti. So we could just do the really cool thing, I guess, of sack battleship to bring back battleship, kill a land, and then attack with the Daretti, and then sack battleship to bring back battleship again. Oh, but then that kills my Daretti. Okay, I'll just attack for lethal. Unfortunately. Cool. Incredibly fun game. So, if they're Necro, which they probably are, they're probably Necro coffers. Vexing Bauble hits their Profane Tutors, it hits their Soul Spikes, which is pretty good. I want at least the first copy. Do I want a Needle to hedge against Karn? I think I'm going to think that they're probably not playing Karn until proven otherwise. They might be playing it, but I'm just gonna not bring it in. I don't think you want a double spaceship with Daretti too often. Yeah, not in the same turn. I mean, sometimes you just need to kill some big stuff, right? I think they would have 2 different cards if they had it. Maybe. I mean, they couldn't have won still, so like it's possible they just want to not tell me I have Karn, right? But I do think they're probably playing Necro. Just like Necro, Soul Spike, that normal stuff. Okay, keep this. Might try to engineer for Endstone. Might try to get Monument. I don't know. Let's just play the Cookbook turn 1. I'm interested in Rust Harvester. I feel like it's insane with Cauldron. Which one is Rust Harvester? So I think I'm going to put the Endstone in my graveyard here. Tap, exile an artifact card from your graveyard. Counter on this creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. I mean, cauldroning that seems like a lot of hoops to jump through for what is effectively just a fling. So they might choose trash for treasure, right? They might also choose Endstone. This is kind of what I'm hoping they'll do because I have this in my hand, right? It's not a fling. It stays around, and one shot's pretty easy with VV. I mean, one shot's pretty easy with VV. VV has to have 20 power, right? Pretty easy. It could be. There could be something. What did they name? They named Monument to Endurance. Okay. So let me discard the Battleship, I think. I guess I could just... Okay, I don't have any monuments left, so... I can just discard whatever, actually. Yeah, I don't think this engineer is really doing anything now that my monuments are gone and I have all this big stuff. So let's just discard that, I guess. Maybe that attitude's flawed somehow. Shielded would be bad. You go down to 10, that's maybe not the best either. 6 power will kill, just activate 3 times. I mean, just activate something 3 times in a modern game is like... so slow. It's so slow. Gets online turn 4, then activate 3 times. Okay, they can't cast a Shielded, which is nice. They do have Karn. It's less nice. They plus the Karn, interesting. Alright, so let's draw a card and then draw 2, discard a card. Don't find another trash for treasure. I think we want to discard 1 of these at least. Draw a card. Draw a card. I guess we're casting this. Don't think I want to haste, so I can find Daretti, right? And then I'm just going to put a cookbook in the yard. Maybe I put the portal in the yard. They're not double. They might think they're going to run me out of basics. I've got like 10. Them wanting to stop maybe like a hasty Daretti or something. I'm messing around with Ravager, Munitions, and Modular onto Harvester. Wait, Harvester is an artifact creature? Okay, I mean, that's something. They get a Damping Matrix, which is kind of redundant to this Karn. Alright, draw a card. Was turned off anyways, just, cycle it. Should I play my land first? Maybe I should have. Not really going to be able to Daretti anymore, though. So I think I don't care about Ugin's labbing. I think I do want to play the Saga this turn and like make them target that with the field. Maybe I will run out of basics also. Can I find another trash for treasure? That would be so nice. We did, yay. Okay, so we want to kill the Karn with this, right? Is that better? I think that's better than putting the Emperion into play. Let me discard 1, 2. I guess the lab could be better than the mountain this game. I guess we can attack them for 1 also. Pretty minor. Weird game. Draw another card. It's another Mox Opal. Kill the Karn. I guess we cycle this before Shieldred comes down. Your turn. I'm surprised you did not mention Loading Zone in your YouTube video. So Loading Zone. Yeah, I don't think this card is very good. I did have it to kind of talk about how I didn't think it was that good, and then I was like, I kind of decided to omit it because the video was so long. What would you like to do with Loading Zone? I think it's not like a good hardened scales option because like you would really want to like being able to double counters is better than +1, but I couldn't really think of anything that this really combos well with. Maybe I missed something though. Hey Spike, you always say I hate Engineer. I do hate Engineer because I've played it so much, but this deck definitely does want it. you're an Arena of Glory, Monument, Cookbook, Opal, Trash for Treasure, Daretti deck. It's like, you have to play Goblin Engineer. You play literally every card in the format that it's good with. Maybe not Sword of the Mekon. Sure, okay, they're not going to let me do this, are they? Okay, maybe they are. 5, 6, 7. So the Damping Matrix stops me from crewing the Battleship. I think they have a K command in their hand. So I don't really want to cast a Trash for Treasure if I can. If I can help it. Yeah, I think we're just going to make a Saga token. Yeah, Endstone's been looking really good, I agree. You could just destroy the Matrix with the ship. Well, I could if I get a ship down. I need to do that, right? And so if I think my opponent has K command in their hand, then trying to get the ship in play seems like a fool's mission potentially. So I just wanted to wait a turn. Might have been still right to discard the ship. I don't know. They do have the K command though. Damping Matrix K command non-bow. Yeah, I don't think they realize that this turns off the spawn. Oh, sorry, it doesn't. What am I thinking of? I think I'm thinking of Clarion Conqueror. Never mind. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, but next turn I could maybe just cast this if they don't field my Labyrinth in response. Well, I guess that would still work if they... Because I can just get my last basic. So if I draw my Mountain, that might not work then. Okay, there's a Cabal Coffers. So they got tons of mana. Okay, tons of mana plus another Karn, which is certainly annoying. Great game, a super fun game. Is the Endstone a Dice Factory card? Maybe Endstone is better than like Devour in the Dice Factory build we played. They grab a Cityscape Leveler. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they can kill my Endstone. Interesting that they go after the Arena. It's wise with the Daretti coming down. Good choice. So Endstone targeted. I could Daretti this back into play maybe. But not being able to haste anymore is definitely a problem. I draw another Battleship. Let me cycle this, I guess. Oh, duh. Sorry, Endstone's gone. Okay, never mind on that. Do I even want it back in play? Not really. I think I want one still in the hand for now. Oh, sorry, this is going to kill the Construct. If I had cast it, it was going to live. This is going to kill the Construct, though, if I go for the Battleship. But I have to kill the Karn. And then they're going to level my Daretti and put me to 2. Not a lot I could do about that, I guess. I have to kill Karn. Attack first, they get a block, then I kill Leveler. Oh, yeah, sorry. That's the line for sure. Tough game for sure. This has been an insane game. How is it only turn 8 also? Okay. So because this doesn't stop mana abilities, I have the ability to get a Mox Opal, and I could cast another Battleship. But if I cast another Battleship, then I lose because I don't have a second blocker. Oh, right. I mean, I guess I can't. This is still a mana ability. So I guess let me I guess we're going to cast Looting and then play the Engineer so we can have an extra blocker. Interesting. Can I cast a Daretti? So the Power Stone, it looks like I am one short. Looks like I am one short of casting the Daretti, right? What a crazy game. So let's discard a Battleship. Let's discard the Cookbook. Let's cast the Goblin Engineer. We've got 2 blockers, so we're dead to like a Fatal Push, which they easily could have. 10 cards left in my deck. Could we not have just cast Battleship, killed the Karn, and then our Construct at 5 of... Yeah, I mean, I said this when I cast it, but I do realize I made a mistake there. Alright, so they have indeed run me out of basics. But thankfully they targeted that, not my Arena of Glory. Then they're going to kill the Construct... Oh, sorry, the Trample. I forgot the Trample on the level. I don't think there was the way to live. That last turn, at least. Why not Entomb the Portal? I guess we should have Entombed the Portal, although we were dead there. That was a crazy game. I didn't think we were going to lose. Can you use the Power Stones for Saga ability? Yes. So I guess if I had used the Power Stones for the Saga ability, then I would have had enough mana to Daretti. That game kind of broke my brain. Sorry, I want a Needle over a Vexing Bauble. Do we hate Magus against them? I don't know if I would say hate. They have a lot of removal for it. I mean, this still shuts off their Profane Tutors. Yeah, we got a lot of mana sources. We also have, you know, the Opals and the Lab that lets me turn to the Monument. Wow, I am down 5 minutes on the clock. Wow. I guess I have to play fast. But it's an Amolda 6. It might be a week 2 removal spell. Sorry, discard spell. Not that most of your mulligans are good against discard spells, of course. How are they not snapping off the Monument? I guess, I mean, they must have another target. Yeah. They do eventually choose the Monument. Okay, so that's really nice where we can activate this at least once before my opponent gets their hands on a Field of Ruin. Sorry, I guess I should have discarded something, although they've got the relic, so maybe not. Alright, so they have 3 cards in their hand. Hopefully we can just dodge a field, although I do think they're playing the full 8. It's going to be hard to dodge. Yeah, I did think about playing Asmo at the Cookbook deck. I decided against it. If you would include it, let me know what you would cut to make the inclusion. I'm certainly interested. 4, 5. So if I draw Ugin's Labyrinth, I can Endstone next turn. I do have a Cosmogoyf build. I think we'll play that next if we have time. I think we'll have time. They suspend a Profane Tutor, so getting the Vexing Bauble might end up paying out after all. Another Saga, let's go. Yeah, let's get the Vexing Bauble. You're also just dead next turn. Weird match. I played a Pinnacle. Yeah, we played 2 Pinnacle Emissary builds. The card was very impressive. It was very impressive. I'm still trying not to look at new people's builds, Zanetti. Maybe later this week. I guess I just attack so I don't play as much into a sweeper. I still have lethal with either construct next turn. If I draw a land, I can Endstone also. Alright, so the Profane Tutor gets countered. I have not figured out Biotech Specialist Asmo. I mean, it's only day 2. It just takes so long to playtest decks also. It just takes so long. Alright, well, kind of an anticlimactic game 3 after how intense that game 2 was. Let's get a trophy prediction. Oh, for new set releases, I playtest everything on stream. I think it's way more interesting to play stuff for the first time. There's also just like not the time to playtest off stream anyways during new set release. Ozzy with the Twitch Prime, thank you, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Any plans to play more Riddler to energy version? We'll see. I think I want to play Goyf next because we have already played Riddler and no Riddler is good. I'm having a lot of fun with this one also. So the draw against Boggart Bog Thoughtseize could be black-white. They probably take this, right? If it is black-white, Monument usually is really, really good against them. Any stinkers? I wouldn't say so. I feel like Tezzeret seemed fine at the very least. And that was the deck that performed the least well. They took Daretti, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and play. Let's play Saga turn 1. Drawing second Monument. Drawing an Imprintable would be, of course, really ideal, so we could just slam these out there. Mox Opal would be good too. I feel like they're going to brick. Okay, they don't. They have a Frog or a Solitude. They choose a Solitude. Takes down to 4. Let's go. So we do need to do a little math. So okay, so I can go discard Basic Mountain, put them to 12. Then I can go cast Monument, and I, in theory, could discard a card on my turn and their turn, but I'm not going to have enough cards to do that. But if they bolt themselves here, we could just kill them easy. Great. Okay, nothing is easy in this life. Don't think I discard anything here because I want to be able to cast the Monument to rebuild. This is game 1 Wrath the Skies. How do I always run into these Esper players main decking Wrath the Skies? It's so unfair. Gator, 3 years. Think welcome back. 3 years. I guess I missed one. No, it's tough. Well, thank you so much for the continued support. They target the Witch Enchanter. Interesting. So I guess if we could trash for treasure at Monument into a cookbook. Seems a little stinky. So they pick up another Witch Enchanter. Come on, Faithless Looting. So I'm going to put Portal to Phyrexia in the yard, I guess. Maybe there's a better option. I think that's fine. Do you think Sunset Saboteur, the 2-mana 4-1 menace, is good in Dimir Murktide? No, I think the card is completely unplayable in Modern. It's cool, though. Okay, good news. So I think I can Portal and kill the Overlord and the Witch Enchanter and the Wisp, and then maybe start reanimating some stuff. I could reanimate Daretti with Portal, possibly. That could be good. Obviously, that's what we're hoping happens. Don't think we're going to get Force of Negation. They might be reading. They do have another Witch Enchanter in their hands. They don't have a 4th mana, though, so we're going to hope to dodge that. Oh yeah, we could Wisp the Portal. That is pretty cool. And then we could dodge the Witch Enchanter. No, it would come back on our end step, huh? We're going to have a lot of options if we untap with this. Deck plays like a cube deck. Yeah, it kind of does. So they play a Witch Enchanter. Untapped. So maybe they have another Wisp. They have an Overlord that could get back a Wisp here. So Emperor, not Overlord. That's true, we could get back Frog for the Monument, but it does seem like we're going to lose our Portal. Could draw another Trash for Treasure, I guess. So we're going to be down to 8. Some good draws. Going to be tough to win. We don't know any card in their hand anymore, I think. Alright, that one's fine. I guess I'm going to be drawing a card here. And then, good chance I'm just going to sack the food and gain 3 also. Yeah, I think so. Is the Cascade Bean deck the deck you're most proud of? I get this asked this question. I don't really care. I'm just a very in the moment kind of guy. You know what I mean? I just like building new stuff all the time. I don't like to be Uncle Rico living in the past. Okay, there's a Psychic Frog. Alright. Goblin Engineer off the top. So we could play the Engineer this turn, hope it lives, and discard the Cookbook to deal them 3. No, we just die to the Frog. I can go discard Engineer, deal them, draw a card, I guess. Play Cookbook, deal them 3. Yeah, I think so. So if I find a Faithless Looting, we might be able to get there. So yeah, let's dig for that. So draw a card. Another Goblin Engineer. Yeah, but I think I'm just gonna go sack. Play this. And then on their turn, I can go put you to 6. And then if I draw Faithless Looting, I win, or second Monument, I win. Yeah, we could also hope for Arena. I don't know if that's gonna work though. Right now we're going to 1, which is not 0. Yeah, we also only 1 Monument left. They're gonna win. No, they already played the Witch Enchanter we knew about. Can get the extra card from Lab. Oh. Oh, we drew the looting anyways. I don't know. I'm just going to discard in here. Maybe my opponent has a Solitude. Oh, they do have a Solitude, don't they? So they've had a Solitude for like 1,000 turns. Never mind. That was, yeah, on turn 2 they put a Solitude in their hand. Dang. Alright, down a game. Fun, another fun one. It felt like you discovered Monument really strong ages ago and no one did anything with it ever. Yeah, that's how it goes a lot of the times over here. I am but a humble servant giving you the decks and the tools to succeed. I don't think I really want much more of this. I think I might bring in the Jar. Because it's not that good against Wrath. I guess we could play Vexing Bauble against Solitude. Ephemerate. Thoughts of bringing back Trash for Treasure with Melted. I do my best to understand what y'all are talking about. I don't know what Melted is supposed to be. Yeah, we do really need to organize this Mox Opal height. Moxite? Moxite. I know Mox Field, our lovely sponsor. You can look at all my decks. How do we lose there? They Solitude their own thing to gain life. Do you still like Fire Magic or Pyroclimb? It depends, but for the most part, yes. There's definitely some factors. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. Oh, the new card. Yeah. Moxite actually does seem like it could be pretty good here. Might be better than Faithless Looting. Which is weird to say, right? Yeah, you could maybe play a Lotus Bloom too. Definitely an option. Would this brew be considerably worse without opals? Yeah, it's Mox Opal. Sorry. The first copies, you know, maybe if you could get one, you could Saga for it sometimes. Alright, I guess I'm just flashing with the looting since I don't want to kill my own land and only kill one of theirs with the Sundering Titan. No Felly is good. Catch your mouse. Ah. Well, I guess they're not going to put that into play super easily, at least. Not doing a lot this game. So I guess we can trash for treasure for Endstone next turn, maybe. I don't know if that's going to be better than Battleship. Probably will be. It kind of depends on what they do. I wouldn't have expected them to do this, because don't they have to kill 2 of their own lands? I'm going to take a lot of damage, I guess. They have to kill, yeah, they kill 2 of their lands and they kill 1 of mine. I do need to draw a land now to trash. I guess that's okay. Oh wait, no, then it's going to kill all of their lands. All right. No! Dang, they had a plan. Oh, right, sorry. They just exile whatever I get with the Emperor. Okay, we're dead. Thought that we had a different line. All right, fun match. Not trophying this league. It's because we can get a 4-1. Have it. Certainly not extremely bad at the very least. All right, turn 3 trash on the play. We'll see what the best target is. Station Tapatola 5 power, yes. Which has been not too, or I would say pretty obtainable. Turn 1 drum. Daretti is pretty interesting here. I think I want to get, I think I want the Battleship. Endstone's going to put my life total pretty low. I think there's a good chance they like have a big Pinnacle Emissary turn, right? And then maybe if they just don't commit to the board, we just play Monument next turn instead of going for the trash. Am I testing any EoE cards on Hammer Time? Probably not. There's like some options I think are just kind of worse than the last Hammer Time build we played. We may leave our opponent disappointed, although Welding Jar, I guess, can let them keep a thing. So they're playing Canal. Yesterday I was playing Shivan Reef. I wasn't main decking a Welding Jar. Kind of minor. Well, let's see if you got... I guess they don't have mana up. Let's see if you have Force of Negation. They only have 1 card. All right, we should be in the clear. Bam. Could attack first. Lazy. So they do have a Saga. It's a good way to rebuild. And then a Cranioplating. Can't necessarily make a Saga token, though. I guess we go Monument Looting this turn. Draw a card, make a treasure. Huh. Would have been nice to have discarded this to trash into play next turn. Let's see what they draw. So they also have 2 Pinnacle Emissaries still available to warp. Yeah, seems like I need to go cast Daretti. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do Shape a New Endstone tomorrow. So I'm gonna say no to that, and then we're gonna attack for 10. And if my opponent, if they Aether Spellbomb instead of making a construct, that's fine. And then they're gonna Aether Spellbomb like this instead of the Daretti, which is also important, right? Oh, the drum. I missed the drum. I think, I mean, still, I don't think our line changes. The constructs are going to be big enough to survive another battleship hitting the field. Domination Bracelet's not close to playable, I think. I might be wrong. I'd love to be wrong. They get a Haywire Might. Then they cast Thoughtcast. Play a Min-Might. Play an Opal. So they could cast Pinnacle Emissary, make a token, and equip a plating. Am I dead to the plating? I think I go to a low life total that's not 0. They didn't equip the play. Oh, they, yeah. Okay, they're gonna Haywire Might instead, I guess. Love that they're doing this main phase so I can get Endstone. Okay, you would have been great last turn. Well, I'm certainly going to cast this Faithless Looting. I don't actually think I can get there, though. This Mox... I don't think... So close to being able to double trash. Oh, I guess it's not even that close because they killed my thing I'm sacking. Okay, so if I Battleship, I don't get to kill. I can kill the Saga, but I'm dead to the constructs. If I Endstone... it doesn't do anything. I can't kill them. Alright, let's go to game 2. Interesting game. So I do think I'm more interested in... Okay, I want to bring a Needle for their Graveyard Hate. And the Fire Magics I do think are actually better against this build than I thought. The Vexing Baubles are also interesting on the play. So this is probably too many Fire Magics. Let's play like 2. Let's cut the Lantern. Let's cut the Sundering Titan. Let's keep the Platinum Emperion. I think I might cut the Portal. Portal seems kind of bad against them. I think you can cut a Labyrinth when you cut 2 imprintables. I think we can cut an Engineer and a Looting. Can you blow up a plating and block a construct? I would still be dead to the 1 construct hitting, but I don't even have a blocker because I have to attack with Daretti to trash. Yeah, let's keep this on the strength of turn 1 Vexing Bauble. I think I'm going to play it off the mountain. Could want to play Saga to get the Cookbook down for the Monument. I'm going to try to do new cards with Loot Tree. I mean, at some point, I don't think it's a big priority for me to be Loot Treeing right now, though. I know we will again at some point, of course. Yeah, we play a good amount of Vintage Cube when it's up. I like to think of myself as a somewhat competent cuber. Yeah, you play Consult the Star Charts with Loot Tree. I'm on board for that one. Don't think I'm discarding anything here. Certainly don't hate another copy of Monument. Am I going to get another Cookbook? I think I'm going to Needle Urza Saga. It's a little weird. Do we think they have counter magic? I don't think so. Yeah, no, we don't Needle Saga because we target with the Battleship, and if they make a token, it just dies. So let me get this Mox Opal. If they have Rebuke, they have Rebuke. Okay. So bring back the Battleship, sack the Mox Opal. And then we target the Urza Saga. If they make a token, the token just dies. And then we go discard here to draw a card, and we will reanimate the Monument with the Daretti attack trigger. Then we can kill them next turn. with the monument triggers plus the battleship attack. I find myself hurting for Daredevils. No, I'm not playing Asmo either. You don't really care about like flooding the board with food tokens with no Asmo. So they might play some stuff to get some blockers. Okay, you're dead. Let's go to game 3. We're not playing Azo because we're trying to win matches of Magic. You're out of line, but you're right. Guess we're going to go to 6. My opponent's thinking they do keep 7, which is scary in their deck. I don't like this. Let's go to 5. We have better 5s. This is not one of them. There's no lands. I got to keep on 4 and feel like we are probably going to lose. I'm going to try to just draw Trash for Treasure, I guess. Happy to see Cranial Plating coming back. Yeah, Rip Believers, definitely a tough series of mulligans. Maybe my opponent doesn't have another land. Although they would have cracked the Bauble. Oh, you didn't crack Bauble? You didn't have a land? Dude, Affinity players never crack Mishra's Bauble. It's crazy. And I drew the Trash for Treasure. All right, we're kind of in there. I'm going to discard the Endstone before my opponents can needle my cookbook, I guess. Although maybe this just plays into the graveyard hate. Think of the Haywire Might. It's a little annoying. Maybe I should have sacked the food. Yeah, I just I trash and I lose. So I guess let's not just trash and lose. Let's try to draw a Battlestar. If we draw one of those next turn, we could win. Alright, Battlestar off the top to maybe stabilize. Kill their creatures and the Saga. Although I guess they would Haywire Might my Battlestar. I guess that would be okay too. Alright, play to our outs. Outs didn't come. I yield. So 3-0 to 3-2 again. Although I like the shell. I think it performed about as well as I hoped it would. Very fun. Battleship played really well. I'm definitely interested in trying to play this maybe in more Shape of New shells, maybe Creativity shells. We can get kind of weird with it, but this card played really well, I think. Let's keep it going though. I want to play some Cosmogoyf now, and I want to take this build, and I want to play